He claimed that he had video footage. He also claimed to have the real Kim Porter memoir.
Because my next guest just testified before a federal grand jury. He says he was in possession of a trove of digital evidence from Diddy's freak-off.
It began as hushed whispers, unbelievable tale, brimming with tabloid allure, almost too shocking to be real. Sean Diddy Combs, once hailed as hip-hop royalty, now finds himself confined to a Brooklyn detention center, facing the grim reality of a potential life sentence. But this isn't just another fleeting celebrity controversy. It's a gripping courtroom saga, with the power to unravel an entire empire. The allegations form a whirlwind of claims that portray a man consumed by power, lost in a world where privilege ran unchecked, and now may come crashing down.
You're hearing about all these videos with celebrities, not going to be part of the criminal case. And
Cassie video.
Cassie video is going to be part.
Right.
We're going to get to that in a minute with the jury. But what we did was, number one, we showed them the prosecution's case from one of our documentaries. And then we showed them the defense from the current document.
Diddy wasn't just a mogul. He was a symbol, a brand, a living embodiment of what hustle and ambition could achieve. From the glittering all-white parties in the Hamptons, where celebrities mingled like royalty, to the chart-topping anthems that helped shape a generation, he seemed untouchable. But beneath the polished veneer, prosecutors claim, lurked a much darker reality, one carefully obscured from the public eye, where manipulation and coercion now, that glossy facade is shattering. The courtroom has transformed into a stage for one of the most sensational legal battles in recent history. Diddy, no longer the larger-than-life figure of old, appears not in the standard orange jumpsuit of incarceration, but in court-approved, designer attire, fighting not just for his freedom, but for the remnants of his legacy. His defense team, an elite squad of top-tier attorneys, is crafting a narrative of misunderstood decadence and consensual indulgence, portraying the accusations as misread elements of an extravagant lifestyle. But prosecutors counter with a starkly different tale, one of control, manipulation, and the unchecked power of a man who believed he was above consequences, intimidation and silence. Prosecutors say these were the cornerstones of a system Diddy carefully built to protect his power. But now that system is unraveling, and at the center of it all is a video, the now infamous surveillance footage from a 2016 hotel incident involving Diddy and his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura, has become a pivotal piece of this explosive case. Grainy but unmistakable, the clip showed Diddy pursuing Cassie down a hallway, grabbing her, shoving her, and violently throwing her to the ground. The video then captures him kicking her as she lies motionless, before dragging her by her sweatshirt. It's stomach-churning, haunting footage that leaves a lasting imprint on anyone who sees it. For years, this evidence remained hidden, allegedly suppressed by Diddy through hush money and legal muscle, but now it's out, broadcast for the world to witness, and its effect has been nothing short of seismic. The illusion of invincibility has cracked wide open, and no amount of fame can erase what the world has seen.
There has been no profit motive involved at all. The last word is profit.
He's already rich.
So whether or not he had the freak-offs or he did whatever,
A lot of money.
well, there is no money.
Exactly.
I mean, the freak-offs aren't... okay, the way in which I read it, it's not an illegal business. A freak-off is a freak, or whatever these things are, right? But the profit, that last word actually got my attention.
Cassie, once a rising star under Diddy's record label, is no longer a silent figure in the background of his lavish world. She's now front and center in the courtroom drama that has gripped the nation, and she's not alone. The prosecution has assembled a growing list of accusers, each bringing their own disturbing accounts, stories that collectively paint A chilling portrait. Some have chosen to testify anonymously, their identities shielded for protection. But Cassie has stepped forward without hesitation, using her real name and voice to detail what prosecutors say were years of control, abuse, and manipulation. Her testimony is expected to lay bare the darker side of Diddy's empire, portraying him as a man who weaponized his power and influence behind closed doors. Still, Diddy's legal team is pushing back hard. They insist the behavior in question was entirely consensual, arguing that he lived an unconventional but legal lifestyle. Extravagant, yes, but not exploitative. They've even gone so far as to describe him as a swinger, claiming that any acts that occurred were within the bounds of mutual agreement among adults. It's a bold and controversial defense, one that walks a tightrope, especially as the evidence continues to pile up. Prosecutors have dismissed the narrative as nothing more than a smokescreen, calling it a desperate attempt to blur the lines between consent and coercion, and to distract from what they allege was a calculated pattern of long-term abuse.
One thing that I haven't heard said at the table yet is bribery. So he probably promised a lot of these people either fame, fortune, riches, whether or not he delivered. Yeah, but that's another matter entirely, right? So that's obviously, if he incentivized some of these people in order to participate in all of these things, that wouldn't surprise me at all. Is that a definition, or does that fit a definition of coercion in any way? Bribery.
And let's not forget the cast of characters orbiting this high-profile case. The trial has quickly become a who's who of Hollywood and the music world, with names like Michael B. Jordan, and Kid Cudi surfacing on a list of individuals who may be referenced in court. Their potential involvement, whether as witnesses, victims, or simply collateral in Diddy's spiraling downfall, has only added more layers to an already sensational narrative, leaving the public speculating about their roles in this tangled web. Inside the courtroom, the atmosphere crackles with tension. Jury selection has been anything but routine, with prospective jurors intensely questioned about their familiarity with Diddy's career, their views on the music industry, and even their comfort with unconventional lifestyle. One potential juror confessed to liking a social media post mocking the stash of baby oil reportedly discovered during federal raids on Diddy's properties. Another was dismissed after admitting they had seen the 2016 surveillance footage and were, in their words, damned by what they